You know, what we've been really banking on, or what I've been saying for about a year, is that we've really been disappointed in the Anglosphere, so to speak, right? Whereas a lot of this populist, nationalist resurgence we saw first in the United Kingdom with the Brexit in June 2016 and the election of Donald Trump in November 2016. We've seen it sort of taper off. Brexit has not been delivered. Donald Trump has not been succeeding. I said that the trend really that we've seen in the last year is that whereas the Anglosphere is going from Trump getting elected and Brexit being voted on, being approved in that referendum, failing, and we see the European continent going from very bad results, for example, in the French presidential election and the German elections, has been going really well. Obviously, Matteo Salvini's rising in Italy. Poll numbers are great. He was angling to be the next prime minister. And as one of the founding four members of the European Union, that would have been a huge deal to get a right-wing government in the heart of Europe. I thought that would have been the trend. You know, the Anglosphere sucks. Continental Europe is rising. Maybe they're going to compensate for our losses over here. Maybe they're the new hope. They're the new government that we could place all of our hopes and dreams on. But now that this has fallen through, now that Matteo Salvini's out of the government, it's like, what do we have now? The United Kingdom sucks, frankly. I don't mean them as like a whole country, but Brexit is no good, right? Boris Johnson is not really great. Macron is terrible. We still have Merkel in Germany. Donald Trump is totally cucked. What else do we have going for us now that Italy's gone? Now that we have basically a left-wing, center-left government in Italy, what do we have left? Viktor Orban in Hungary? I mean, that's great, but it's Hungary. No disrespect to the Hungarians, no disrespect to the Magyar people, but I mean, this is not a central founding member of the European Union, not one of the bigger economies in the world. They could really shake things up if they had a right-wing government. So we see Salvini leaving, and it's a bit of a black pill. I guess the one sort of silver lining here, maybe the potential upside to this, is that if he's on the outside, maybe Matteo Salvini has a little bit more maneuverability, maybe has a little bit more flexibility to continue to campaign, to continue to build support, to agitate from the outside. He still has one of the biggest parties in the European Union, still has one of the bigger parties in the Italian parliament, so he'll still be a national political figure, he just won't be in the government. And the reason why this is really unfortunate is because out of all the major nationalist leaders to rise up in the last 2 or 3 years, he was undoubtedly one of the most effective. You know, I keep bringing up this statistic because it's like unbelievable to me, especially contrasted against Donald Trump, that since Matteo Salvini became the deputy minister of Italy, the interior minister of Italy, the number of illegal Africans coming into Europe has dropped by 92%. So he dropped the rate of illegal immigration into the whole continent of Europe. He's the deputy minister of one country, but he made the rate of illegal immigration for the whole continent of Europe go down by 92%. That's crazy. In America, illegal immigration is getting worse. And Donald Trump is the president of the country. I mean, think of it. Donald Trump is the leader of one country, and illegal immigration is getting much worse. It's not even staying the same. It's getting worse. And Matteo Salvini, as the deputy, the second in charge in Italy, has reduced the rate of illegal immigration for the entire continent, for all these other countries, by 92%. And so, you know, I would look at America and I would say, like, if Donald Trump didn't get elected in 2016, or if he got impeached, you know, if he resigned in shame, he would still be a national political fixture, and a very powerful one, right? Maybe, arguably, he could do more from outside than inside. Because when you're on the inside, you have culpability. When you're on the inside, you have responsibility. You have the responsibility to govern and deliver. Donald Trump seems to be a better campaigner, better at rallying people and better at, the rhetoric and going viral and things like that, changing the conversation. The actual stuff of governing doesn't seem to be too competent. With Salvini, he's got both going for him, but when he's no longer in the government, you'll see that refugees will pour into Europe once again. Illegal migrants will pour into Europe. We will not have the ability to govern Europe like we did when Salvini was the interior minister. And so, arguably, that's a huge step down. A lot of people are saying, well, you know, we've seen setbacks before and all this. Maybe he'll be able to make change from outside and he could come in eventually. But in the meantime, the situation gets a lot worse. In the meantime, illegal immigration, the floodgates will be opened once again. More people pour in, not just into Italy, but into the whole continent. And on the other hand, I guess you could say perhaps maybe if you could see the glass half full on that side, maybe that will radicalize people further. Maybe people see, hey, without Matteo Salvini, things are kind of going to shit. So maybe there is a possibility, there's an outcome where this ended up being a good thing. But I can't sit here and tell you that Matteo Salvini leaving the government is any kind of a victory. To me, it's very blackpilling, very depressing. So that's no good. Hopefully we're going to be ever the optimists, ever the white pill dispensers on America first, and say that, we could stage a big comeback. He's got the most popular party in Italy. He's got the most popular party in Europe. On the recent EU elections, I think we covered this 3 months ago or so, Lega was the biggest party in the European Union. So he's a continental figure. But this is going to hamper our efforts to shut down illegal immigration into the continent. So it could be good, but for now, it's bad. That's, to put it very simply, could be good, for now, not great. For now, we hate to see it, right? So Salvini is the biggest loser, but that